You had over 40 wins in 1 year. Was that up in the not in the Superbike?
No, it was sort of national level, but down at Brands Hatch mostly. Yeah.
Because I mean, I watched that. I got to tell you, I find that a more thrilling spectacle. Perhaps not the thing to say to an ex-Formula One world champion, but I find that a more thrilling spectacle almost than Formula One these days. I like to see a human actually doing something there rather than a head bobbling.
Yeah, I think you've got something there. I mean, that's certainly what appealed to me with bike racing when I started, or when I got drawn to it, and you can actually see the guys, you know, their knees are on the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were talking just now about Carl Fogarty. I mean, you know, he's absolutely fantastic.
Well, Carl Fogarty, that's my sporting bugbears. I wasn't sure, but Carl Fogarty doesn't get enormous respect in this country, but he is an amazing world champion. Barry Sheene, I think, won the 500cc champion once. Did a Brute advert, and he was a household name.
No, well,
Carl Fogarty cleans up every year.
Talking about my mate Barry.
He's a good lad. Yeah, he's a good lad. But Carl Fogarty is in a worldwide. He's an enormous figure on the bikes. Anyway, we're not really talking about bikes. I'm sorry about that. But is it more exciting than racing F1 when you're actually on the bike, risking life and limb like that? Is it?
No, there's nothing to equal Formula One for the actual event itself. You know, and the importance and the tension. I think, you know, it is an enormously powerful spectacle, and to compete in Formula One. The pressures that come to bear make it worthwhile, and that's the difference.
I mean, it is the most. I think it's the second most watched thing on earth. I forget what was the most watched.
World Cup?
I think it was such a Super Bowl, might be, perhaps. Morecambe Wise, Christmas special, exactly right, John. Thank you very much for all your comments, appreciate that. So there's that, when you arrive on race days, there's nothing like that atmosphere then down on the circuit.
No, and you know that there's 300 million people watching worldwide, you know, when you start the race. So if you're sitting on the grid to win the World Championship, you're in the hot seat, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you get a lot of audiences, you know, big audience here, Johnny,
massive,
but, you know, but it's you know, that on top of having to compete as well.
So you feel that pressure as well, the eyes of the world on you.
It's great. I mean, it really does make the thing special.
And it also kind of provides the world, you know, the 300 million viewers with when it starts happening almost every other week. You start getting the Grand Prix sometimes. Do they ever have them back-to-back weekends, back-to-back?
So, rarely, yeah.
Very
mostly
rare.
every 2
weeks. It's a sort of soap opera. We get to know the characters as well. I mean, so you're very conscious of that sort of factor, and everything you do becomes, you know, worldwide news.
Yeah, there's the hype. Before, it's like a big fight. There's a hype beforehand. There's some controversy in the background. There's Ferrari with different, you know, bits on their car or something, or, you know, Eddie Irvine said something outrageous about someone else, and
women generally.
Yeah, well,
in his case.
And perhaps we'll just draw a veil over that. And you know, it's good. I mean, it's a show, but it's also a sport.
It's a show. I mean, I thought with this recent goings on with Ferrari, do you think that was, you know, when Ferrari won their appeal? Do you think that was? That said to me, this is actually a lot about entertainment for those 300 million people because they wanted a good last day of the season, which they obviously got. Do you feel that?
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of confusion at the moment about whether it's a show, whether it's a sport. I think the show is there before the event. You know, there's the hype, but the actual racing is real. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I've been a driver. I know what it's like. You're in the car to win, and you pull everything you can out to win. So that's a sport, definitely.
And what about the rivalry between you and Sky Schumacher and people? You know, do they exaggerate the sort of feuds between drivers? Are you actually quite pally?
Well, I think if we hadn't raced against each other, we might have. You know,
we might have been friends.
We might.
In another life, Michael. In another life.
He's strange because he's away from when he's not being himself, the racing driver. He's you know, you can have a chat, but you know, he's so professional that when you race, there's no give and take there at all. It's all him.
When you go out with when racing drivers go out with their wives for like candlelit romantic meal, yeah, and you order yourself like a nice bottle of champagne. Are you ever tempted in the restaurant to say, thank you very much, waiter, and just go, okay.
Maybe we should do that.
Just in a restaurant. That's what I do if I was a Formula One driver. So like, thank you very much. Thank you very much, garçon.
It's not very stylish, is it?
No, it's not very stylish. Is it a good feeling doing that?
It's great, yeah.
Is it?
It's good, yeah.
I always think there's something a bit Freudian about it, like the guy there, he's got the biggest bottle and he's spraying everyone. I think there's something very animal about it.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
I think I saw my dog walking recently, he tries to do a similar thing with other dogs when he's cocking his leg. Okay, do you know what, you've got a video out. This is Damon Hill's Wild and Wacky Races. Damon, give us the pitch.
Well, really, it's totally the opposite of Formula One. It's really just fun. You know, it's the things that people do with vehicles for, you know, wild and wacky reasons. They race things like beds. And they also race skidoos on water, which is ridiculous because you know, the moment the engine stops, it sinks.
It sinks, yeah.
So and there's drag racing and all sorts of events. No one gets hurt. I just want to say that.
No one was hurt during the race. Can I say that I find drag racing about the most pointless, dull thing on earth. I mean, for a start, the cars sometimes are so long, they're almost on the finishing line when they start.
Well, you should see some of the things in here. I mean, you talk about pointless events. I mean, there are some really stupid ones in here. There's things that they do in Iceland, which is they have incredibly powerful four-wheel drives, and they try and get up a steep slope, which is impossible anywhere, and they just fall backwards down the hill. And there's...
I think I saw that on Clarkson once, actually. He did something like that, when they sort of light some gas to inflate the tyres. Did you see that?
Yeah, there's all sorts... I mean, there are some incredible people out there.
OK, we're going to have a look at a clip. Here we go.
Yes!
Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 metres per second per second. Some things are too fast.
Too fast, too powerful and too ridiculous looking. In current day drag racing, the premier category is top fuel, and there are two kinds. Dragsters, the ones that look like the Eiffel Tower on its side, and funny car. So called because they look, well, funny.
Beasts. Damon, there have been some sort of rumours that you might have your own Formula One team.
Yeah, has been rumours about that. All I said was I wouldn't rule it out. You know, there's a lot I've still got to give. I've learned a lot in Formula One, so possibly maybe one of the projects I'll look at.
I think it'd be a great thing to do, not with your money.
No.
If something's worth doing like that, it's really worth that being down with OPM or whatever.
I think my money would have paid for the petrol for a year. I mean, it's such an expensive
How
event.
much is it to run a team? How much are you looking for to run a team? We have some wealthy viewers.
Just to actually enter the event, you have to put down a deposit of something like $50 million.
$50 million?
Just to prove you got the money, which is you know it's and to run a team you're looking at budgets of each year of 50 million upwards. You know, so
you have to be as rich as Team Croesus. Maybe there's some really wealthy industrialist out there who say quite a Eurosceptic and would like to have a team that celebrates this fact with like a Union Jack on it and you as its icon. And it can promote...
Wow, it's perfect.
Oh, it would be fantastic. There must be one of those millionaires using those money and they decide I'm going to pick this Formula One team to promote Euroscepticism through Damon Hill.
There might be a job in the marketing department, actually, Johnny.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're doing such a great job.
Well, you know, if there's 50 million knocking around, you know, just if I'm just skimming a little bit, I've got to be doing better than here. I don't have to get up in the morning so early. It'd be marvellous. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later.
We'll have a chat.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, OK.
No, but I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Seriously, I'm sure I can get one of my Eurosceptic pals.
Yeah.
Eurosceptic pals.
Do you know what? Damon Hill's been in the shed. It's been lovely talking to you. Thank you very much.
I'm not. I'd say there's something in that. Yeah.
Really?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, yeah. Can Damon Hill reveal exclusively on the Big Breakfast that he drove better after having sex?
Yeah.
So which Grand Prix?
Considerably better. Yeah.
All the ones
Not just before.
You were celibate for your last season, then. Yeah. Can you think? Yeah. What was the start? Yeah. So I can't go on now. It's interesting so much. Damon, can you think of any exact Grand Prix where you really felt, even while you're in literally the cockpit, which you've now got a whole new meaning to that word?
He's such a gentleman, on and off the track.
He is, isn't he?
He really is. Yeah.
Well, as evidenced in the paper review this morning, what a big man he is.
Yeah.
He just fed me his own fantastic man.
He's a very generous guy, but he's also lush. And we're not too old to enjoy that, you know.
I know you're not. I've seen your little twinkle there. You've been out for dinner with Damon several times because you're mad about him, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Totally.
And from day one, when can you trace this back to a moment when you fell for him?
Yeah, I suppose 92 when he was driving for Brabham Joyce. Not bad. But then, I'll tell you something, when he first went to Williams, when he stepped into Senna's shoes, because Williams is just down the road from us, where we live, and that was the moment, I think, more than anything, when we decided to support him all the way.
OK. Now, you've been out for dinner with Damon Hill several times over the past 2 years, but you've never met him. How have you managed that? How's that? Hang on, wait a second. I'll show you how, viewers. That's my cue today. We'll arrange that for Dave to begin. There we go. You have this cutout of Damon Hill. And what do you do with this cutout, girls?
Well, we take him out to dinner.
They take him out for dinner? So what do you... Just take me through it. You arrive at a restaurant, you've got an empty space, and what happens?
Well, we always phone first and say that, you know, Damon Hill and we are coming out to dinner.
You actually say,
yes.
table for three in the name of Hill.
Yes.
That's a bit cheeky, isn't it, eh?
You gotta
And then what's the
play it.
reaction then when they see that?
Well, we sort of carry him in, you know, and they sort of, depending on, of course, the quality of the restaurant.
Sometimes the customers are a bit funny about it, but the staff are generally quite good.
We pop him at the
No,
bar.
they think you're insane.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not being funny, but that's what they think.
Yeah,
they don't think it's a bit of fun.
But
They just think
play
these two
along,
women are
don't they?
absolutely
Yeah.
mad.
They say, 2 sad old women, but we'll play along.
Less of the old. Okay. Do you know what? You can cast the cutout aside.
Cast him aside.
Cast him aside. Dave, pull it out.
Out he goes.
Pull that out because here he is, the man, the legend, the real thing. Would you welcome to sit down and have breakfast with you this morning, Mr. Damon Hill? Good, marvellous stuff. OK, well, Damon, I can see you're going to have lots to talk about with these ladies. In what could be one of the most difficult breakfasts you've ever enjoyed, I would think, because they're just going to giggle.
No, we'll try to be
Have you got a flush on there, love? Yeah. You have, haven't you? She's got a real flush on there. It's lovely to see. Do you know what? This is Channel 4. You're watching The Big Breakfast. We've got Damon Hill on the show this morning and two of his biggest admirers. Yeah! Back in a couple of seconds. Don't go away.
A raven head. I didn't know you'd gone for highlights, Damon. That's lovely, isn't it?
Do you think it suits you?
Do you know, all I'm thinking is just a light trim. So what we'll do is, to see if you change your mind, we'll whip through the celebrity flipboard, see if there's a style there you fancy, and I'm sure Jason could accommodate you.
Oh, very funny.
You've got a few gaps this afternoon,
Oh,
haven't
yes,
you?
I have, yes, Auntie.
So what we'll do, we'll play a little game, because while the girls get theirs done under the dryer, it'll take 60 seconds, so we'll use that time to play a
right,
game.
Auntie.
OK. Phone, Jace, come on.
Not today, girls.
Quick, smart, come on.
Stop it, Auntie. Hello, the salon.
Hello,
The
it's
salon
Shelley
that is
from
called Her Suits You, sir.
Hello, it's Shelley from Dagenham.
Hello, Shelley. You're local, aren't you?
Yes,
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
Do you know, it's a nasty old day today. It's one of those days, it's a bad hair day, isn't it, for everyone? And then days get so damp you can't do anything with it, can you? Are you experiencing that yourself, love? Is it a bad hair day for you? You're right.
No, I'm fine.
You're fine, lovely. Listen, how many do you reckon he's going to get right, young Damon?
I think 4.
Do you think 4? Ooh, here we go. Ooh. OK, thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Her Suits You, sir.
Hello, Jason.
Hello, who's this?
It's Caroline from Langham.
Oh, you're right there.
I'm fine, thank you.
Whereabouts is Long Home?
Oh, it's in Dumfriesshire in Scotland.
Is it? But you don't sound particularly Scottish.
No, not Scottish.
You just live there.
Just live there,
And are you persecuted?
No, not at all, not
Are they
at all.
nice
They're
to
lovely.
you? Because I've heard some horror stories. Friends of mine have gone up there, and because they're English, they haven't liked them.
Oh, no, super. But we're only 12 miles from the border, so if it ever happens, we can get over quite quickly.
Will you watch yourself, pet? Right.
I will.
Caroline, how many do you think he's going to get right?
5.
5. I'll chalk you in for 5. There you are, love.
OK, thank you.
OK, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, who's this?
Morning, Jason. It's Richard from Southend.
Hello, Richard, how are you?
I'm fine, very
Oh,
well.
and now
thank
you call up, do you?
Say again.
Toss me aside. And suddenly, when there's a trip to Boston up for grabs, we're all mates again. Well, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way, Richard.
Oh, always.
Oh, he treats them mean. Right, Richard, how many do you think he's going to get right?
6.
How many?
6.
6. I'll put you in for 6. Oh, there we go. Listen, best of luck to you there, Richie, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm fine. Not
Girls
now, girls.
all
Not
right?
now, girls. Yeah, fine. Everything's
Don't
fine.
engage them.
Right.
Right, Damon, if you're ready, we are. OK, number 1. This gentleman's name means cobbler in his native tongue. He's very good at driving round in... Your big mate.
Got that right.
Oh, didn't he just? It's Tony Blair's worst nightmare.
Ken Livingstone.
Oh!
You drew him by the hair,
Perfect.
didn't you?
He's got FA to do with FA anymore. He's got a famous Australian ancestor called Ned. Carlisle United versus Hereford.
Kelly, someone Kelly.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah. He should be living at number 10, but in fact he lives at number 11. He bought a new briefcase at a budget price.
Norman
He says-
Brown.
Norman?
Gordon Brown. Norman, he is pretty normal.
It's the
It's the
same
same
difference.
mundane thing. He's a
Gordon
pesky
Brown.
little fella. He's got a cousin called Vinny. He's a good fella.
He's a good
fella.
I'll give you a clue. Right, here we go. Who's that? Next
Even
one,
his food doesn't taste that good. This Canadian rocker's last single had added spice. Everything he does it for you.
Brian Jones. Brian Adams.
Yeah! He got it!
He likes playing guitars in forests.
I tell you something. How many is that? 4?
4.
Do you know
what? I think my mate Shelley, who's local, I think she's won. Hello?
Hello, Johnny.
Do you know you've won?
That's brilliant.
You're going to Boston with a friend.
Sorry?
Who are you going to Boston, USA?
That is brilliant. Thank you very much.
Who are you going to take?
Fantastic.
Who are you going to take?
I'm not sure. I'm just stunned.
Well, you'll have a lot of friends now, won't you, eh?
Yeah,
listen,
we're
speak to you later. Well done, Shelley.
Thank you.
Bye, Shelley.
Thank you, bye.
Bye, Shelley. Bye, Shelley. Bye.
I've got a funny gag.
What have you got?
Before you go, Damon, here's something that I've been working on for Fatima Whitbread. I know it's a very, very old sort of allegiance to that name, but it's called Wash and Throw.
Oh, I think that's brilliant. I think that's...
Sarah Cox.
Damon Hill. Excellent to have you here.
Excellent sport, Sarah Cox.
Richard Randall.
Oh, lovely. Sarah Cox.
Our internet shopper, Jason Weston from Net Magazine.
Oh, Sarah Cox.
Sarah Cox. Joyce Brown and Jeanette Anderton, our Damon Hill fan. Don't go mad. OK, now, thank you very much indeed, Phil Gale, our award-winning newsreader. He is simply the best, better than all the rest. We're back trackside with the legendary Damon Hill and wacky car inventor Edd China. No stranger to the show. You were on it a while ago.
I have been, yeah, a few times.
The sofa.
That's right, casual loafer.
And you've been in the papers quite a bit, and it seems to have started off a bit of a craze, actually,
It
as well.
has. I think they're coming out of the woodwork now, I think. It's the eccentricity of Britain coming out again, I think. That's the main thing.
It's something we enjoy celebrating. We will do it also with our new racing team we're going to start down. Now, earlier on, you drove the Street Sleeper, and you beat that lap record set by Ed of 25 seconds. You did it in 24.
I think, can I ask for a steward's inquiry? Because I'm not sure about the end of the race there. I was a bit unhappy.
Ed, no, not now, all right? He's a guest. But it's time. This is an unusual vehicle. Ed, tell us about this. This is the Bog Standard.
That's right, yeah. It's based on a Honda Spacey sort of moped thing, basically a point-and squirt. It's very fast. I actually developed it after coming back from South America. I had a bit of a heavy session of the quick step, if you know what I mean. So felt like the only answer, really.
Fantastic. So is it actually wired up so you can perform on that?
We've actually sort of got rid of some of the plumbing just for, sort of health reasons.
He tells me it really goes.
Do you know what, Damon? Please don't race too quickly here. I'm going to get away because it's very greasy, and I would hate anything to happen to you here on the Big Breakfast.
Thank you.
I really would.
Okay, well...
I hate you to come through Formula One and finally come unstuck in the Big Breakfast garden.
That would be irony.
That would be irony so thick you could cut it with a bread knife. Do you know what, Ed? We better get to the middle of the track. Damon, I'll give you the starter's orders. On your marks, set, go!
Good, Damon!
Go, Damon!
I'm going!
Whoa!
Yes!
Go, Damon. Well, Damon's taking it very well here. It's very slippery by the shed and pond turn as he starts lap 1. He's round for lap 2 now. This is going to be quite a slow time, I think. But Hill now getting his head down for extra streamline. He's almost lost the back end near the shed. Sean Nolan's camera will pick that up. He's past the shed. He's going through the bandstand and Coxey's caravan turn as he approaches the finishing line now. Hill is through. And that was in 39. The lap record for that is 31 seconds. Hill fails to smash that lap record. But anyway, do you know what we've got? He is still our Furniture One racing champion, Damon Hill. He beat the one this morning, I think, when conditions were a bit more favourable. So, Damon, we'd like to present you with that plaque, the Furniture One racing champion 1999. Please accept it, Damon.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my mother and all my children and my wife, Georgie.
And the team for the support.
And Johnny and the team and everyone at the Big Breakfast. And Ed the Bed.
Ed the Bed. Thank you very much. Damon Hill, ladies and gentlemen.